Not too far from there, Angola's ruling MPLA party candidate is set to become the country's next president, despite a last-ditch effort by the opposition to nullify the election results. Angola's Electoral Commission dismissed complaints of voter irregularities by the opposition, clearing the way for Joao Lourenco of the People's Movement for the Liberation of Angola to become the new president after garnering 61% of the votes in last month's election. Lourenco is expected to replace José Eduardo dos Santos, who governed the country for the past 38 years. Now, the leading opposition candidate of National Union for the Total Independence of Angola garnered just over 26% of the vote. Now, for more on the new Angolan president, I'm joined by VOA's Joao Rita. He hosts a daily show on Angola, as well as a weekly talk show on Angola in Portuguese. Joao, welcome to Africa 54.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, it's kind of a change in one way, but also things may be looking about the same. What's the reaction in Angola?
The new Angolan president, he will take power on the 21st. His slogan was improve what is good and do away with what is bad.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that happens. I must say that, you know, it's a big unknown because Joao Lourenco was obviously chosen by the MPLA's political bureau, which is much controlled by dos Santos. Dos Santos is going to carry on being the president of the party, at least for 1 year.
Yeah.
So you're going to have this dual power. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays on. Yeah. Now, the feeling amongst the opposition is this is no change. It's a succession, as they say. And Joao Lourenco has promised during the campaign, he's aware that many Angolans are in dire straits economically and that a lot of them you know, are unsatisfied with the present situation. So he's promised changes, but it's difficult to say at this stage.
What is the state of affairs actually in the country? I hear the economy is not doing so well, but specifically, what are some of the issues that he has to deal with?
Well, one of the main complaints of the population is corruption. Corruption is very well entrenched in the society at all levels, from the lowest level to the highest level. And this because at the highest level, government ministers and others are involved in businesses. And so they're very rich people. And so this is the main complaint. But of course, on the economical side, there is a problem. Angola is heavily dependent on oil. It's more than 90% of its exports. With the drop of the price of oil from $100 a barrel to 40-something, Angola practically collapsed economically. So this has resulted in growing poverty. I mean, if you go to a city like Luanda, you'll see that the poverty is enormous and lack of money. I mean, we had the situation during the past 12 months of teachers not being paid, police not being paid, hospitals running out of medicine. There was a huge epidemic of yellow fever. There were no vaccines. Yeah. So there is this question of money that the country does not have.
And yet it has always been said that Luanda, for example, the cost of living there is just unbelievably high.
It's very high. It's the most expensive city in the world for expatriates. So, I mean, it's shocking when you get there. I remember last time I was there, there was an apartment by the seafront. The monthly rental was something like $20,000.
Whoa.
So I couldn't believe it.
Now, quickly in terms of what Lourenco can do, really, it will be more like fighting against a culture and cultures entrenched within the party. I mean, how can he possibly change things when it's the same party controlled by the same president who has been there for 38 years?
Yeah. Well, it's going to be what I think we must pay attention to is once he gets into power, give him a month or two, what changes is he going to put into the cabinet? And not only that, there's a whole lot of people around the president in the presidential office. There's a General Kopelipa, the head of military intelligence. These are people with a lot of power. And so it's going to be interesting to see if he really does changes. One thing I must point out is that President dos Santos had a law approved last month under which all security people that he appointed cannot be changed for the next 8 years.
Wow.
So, and just on the 1st of this month, he promoted about 100 people in the police force, and they cannot be changed.
Now, in a few seconds left, in terms of the kind of control he has, so this kind of dual power system there, is this new or has it always been there?
No, this is totally new. I mean, up to now, the president of the party was the president of the country, and that was it. Now, what happened is because of this transition, Dos Santos said he was going to leave power in 2017 and leave politics in 2018. So that leaves him 1 more year as president of the party, at least.
Which, in a way, is the president of the country.
Yeah, exactly.
Indirectly put on the streets of Bahia. We'll see how things happen. Joao, thank you very much for putting things in perspective for us. Well, that's Joao Santa Rita, who is a VOA Portuguese journalist.